there, and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Angie and I'm a chemist who loves makeup. Urban Decay is bringing back their original makeup palette from the makeup graveyard in a limited edition format. But is it the same palette that we remember back in the day? Or did they make some changes to the formula? It is retailing for $49. You can buy it directly from Urban Decay, or it's an exclusive at Ulta, and it has all the same fan favorite shades. So first, let's go into a little history lesson about the Urban Decay Naked Palette. For those of you who are Gen Z, this might be new information. For millennials, timestamps will be down below if you want to skip this, but feel free to stick around for a refresher. The Urban Decay Naked Palette was launched in 2010 after asking team members if they had to go to a desert island, what 4 shades would they bring, and it ended up being a collection of neutrals throughout the group. And then that's when the Naked palette was born, in a palette that consisted of 12 neutral colors. Over time, it yielded $1 billion in sales, and multiple iterations of this palette have come out. We've had Naked 2, Naked 3, Naked Smoky, Naked Cherry, Naked Heat, the Naked Basics, and many more. Some of these have been discontinued, including the Naked Original palette. I remember how popular these palettes were. Between all of my roommates, we pretty much had every available Urban Decay Naked palette throughout the house. The original Naked palette was discontinued in 2018 and was announced with a video featuring Nicole Richie and some popular beauty influencers at the time, in which they were at a funeral mourning the retirement of the Urban Decay Naked palette. But the formula may be slightly different from what we remember. We have to remember this palette launched in 2010. That is now 14 years past that time. So some things might have changed since then. Consumers might desire different things in eyeshadow, certain ingredients are in vogue. Plus, Urban Decay was bought by L'Oreal in 2012, so they may have different vendors and suppliers that are approved for use through them. So it's reasonable to think there would be some slight changes in the formula itself. So what changed? I thought it would be easy to find the ingredients of the original Naked palette. It was not. I finally found it from a blog from 2010 in which someone was reviewing the palette, and they had a picture of the back of the box that the palette comes in. So I will link that down below. I don't think they've been active since 2016, but it'll be there for you if you do care to look at it. So I compared that to the ingredients that are listed on the Ulta website. So as for some removed ingredients, unsurprisingly, methylparaben and propylparaben have been removed from this formula. It was present in the original formula. These ingredients were the preservatives in the formula. They were the thing that were antimicrobial. It is a powder formula, so it's not necessary that you need to have antimicrobial properties to it, but it helps because people use their fingers, dirty brushes. So this just ensures there's not going to be any growth on the eyeshadow through regular use. The reason why they removed, I'm sure you know, is pretty much parabens have fallen out of favor as a preservative with consumers. This was due to a study that showed the presence of paraben in breast cancer tissue. Unfortunately, they did not compare it to breast tissue without cancer, but that was the study that kind of ended up triggering the whole industry to stop using parabens. In the new formula, this is now replaced with phenoxyethanol. Phenoxyethanol is also a broad spectrum antimicrobial preservative, and this is the most popular preservative. The next ingredient that got removed is polyethylene terephthalate. So this ingredient is a binder, and it helps provide adherence to the skin, which is something you want to make your eyeshadow last all night. This is another ingredient that has fallen out of favor as well due to safety concerns, although the CIR did determine that it was safe, and that ingredient basically got replaced by zinc stearate, which was already in this formula, but I'm sure is now in higher quantities in order to help with that binding effect. Next is ethyl hexyl palmitate. So this is for slip. This is to help with the spreadability of the formula and make it have a nice smooth texture. I'm not sure why this one has gotten removed. Maybe it's a supplier issue, maybe it's a cost issue, but it has been replaced with capric caprylic triglyceride. And to kind of give a description about the formula itself and what type of ingredients are in there, obviously in the highest quantity, you're gonna have your colorants, your pigments, and you're also gonna have mica and calcium aluminum borosilicate. The mica and the calcium aluminum borosilicate are going to help give either the sparkle, the shimmer, or the mica might be used for a matte effect if the particle sizes are small enough. The calcium aluminum borosilicate is going to be what gives it more of a glittery, a shimmery look. Next, you're going to have your preservatives. As I mentioned, phenoxyethanol is in here. There's also sorbic acid in here, as well as sodium dihydroacetate, which was also in the previous formula as well. You're going to have your mattifying ingredients. These also have other functions as well, such as boron nitride, which also is going to help the spreadability and the blendability of the formula. And you have silica and cellulose. And as we discussed, the final category is emollients, and that's going to include caprocaprylic triglyceride. This is just going to give it a nice slip. It's going to make it smooth. It's going to make it feel soft on the skin. So is it a bad thing that this change? I don't think so. For instance, I think boron nitride is good in eyeshadows. I know eyeshadows with boron nitride perform pretty well, so it might actually be an improvement. I don't know, back in 2010 we were a lot less critical of the quality of eyeshadows. We cared more about the color at that point. That's why this palette was so popular. And now the formulas of eyeshadows have now become more pigmented, they've become more blendable, easier to work with. So I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. Overall, the changes are pretty minor, so I don't think it's going to be a huge deal. The biggest concern would be the color, but I'm sure they did color matching against an old palette to make sure that they retained those colors that people love so dearly. If you do want to purchase this palette, I will leave a link down below to both the Urban Decay website and the Ulta website as well. Those are affiliate links, so if you do click those links, I do get a small commission, so thank you in advance if you do choose to use those. If you did learn something today, make sure to click the subscribe button so you can learn more about the science of makeup, skincare, and the beauty industry, and make sure you give this a thumbs up as well and let me know what you did learn down below. And with that, I will see you in my next video. Bye! Are you looking for another video to watch? I recommend clicking over there. If you click over there, it's going to take you to the video where I discuss a new bill that's been introduced to ban kids from shopping at Sephora.